morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a little bit of a look at a new Japanese set. Now, some of you might be going, well, hang on a second. Didn't we take a look at a new Japanese set? Yes. Yes, we did. The thing is, we had a look at very little information. We made a bunch of suppositions. Now we have a lot more information. And to put it simply, a lot of our suppositions were correct. We are getting a new set, and by we, I mean Japan. It has now been confirmed. It is confirmed as coming out on the 20th of November. It is called Shiny Star V. And it does include, the phrase is, many shiny Pokemon. So at this stage, we can say it is GX Ultra Shiny Part 2. Now remember, GX Ultra Shiny is what turned into the Shiny Vault portion of Hidden Fates. Hidden Fates was a two-part set. You had the main set with Jolteon and a few other cards that were vaguely good, but then you had Shiny Vault, which gave us shiny reprints of a bunch of cards, both GXs and not. And yes, obviously that did include the Shiny Charizard, for which everyone has gone absolutely nuts. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the equivalent of that. We now have a bunch of concrete information, and stop me if you've heard this one before, but our translation comes from the lovely Antoine Boulet. So what we see here is 190 cards. 190 cards is just ridiculous. Again, I gave you the example before, Sword and Shield in Japan, which was a big double set, as they tend to do over in Japan. That came in at 120 cards. GX Ultra Shiny actually came in at 150 cards. This is coming in at 190. And this is 190 plus secret rares. Yeah, there is a lot in here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big old set. But we are also given a bunch of other information. Every single pack has a guaranteed Pokemon V or Pokemon V Max. Now remember, they are 10 card packs rather than usual 5 card packs over in Japan, and they are also retailing for 500 yen, whereas the regular packs come in at about 150 yen. So they are big packs, but even then you're basically doubling the amount of cards and more than trebling the price. These are expensive packs. But then again, you get 10 cards and a guaranteed Pokemon V or V Max. And bearing in mind, right, 500 yen is still not a particularly expensive pack of cards. Now, we know that cards generally tend to be cheaper in Japan. Their packs are cheaper than we pay. But you're talking about $4.75 or £3.70 or €4. So I would, and bearing in mind, that is basically the cost of a pack over here. Except you get a guaranteed V or V Max. That's kind of ridiculous. There are going to be a lot of reprints. We are told several staples for players will be reprinted. So, and again, we do not, and I cannot stress this enough, we do not have confirmation of what's being reprinted, but when they're talking staples, you're probably looking things along the lines of Quick Ball, Professor's Research, things of that nature. The kind of cards that everybody is going to need. Not confirmed, but that's the kind of stuff we would expect to see. And it is, according to Antoine, and again, Antoine's really quite good at this, it is confirmed as several staples. The kind of things that are going to help newer players to really get involved. There will be new cards, notably Pokemon V, Pokemon V Max, and supporters with original concepts, i.e., there will be new cards. Now, when Hidden Fates came around, that had all of the new cards in, but, I mean, the best cards in Hidden Fates were stuff like Jolteon, And then Jesse and James was quite good, but then like immediately banned and expanded. And the new GXs that we had in GX Ultra Shiny, or, you know, the equivalent thereof, around that time, it was stuff like Onyx GX. And Onyx has not proven to be a particularly great card. So maybe these will end up being good, maybe they won't. But there are going to be new Pokemon Vs, new VMAXs, and new supporters. And probably some new regular cards as well. That's kind of cool. And we have already mentioned the 190 cards, but it's kind of cute that in the advert I've been showing on the screen, it translates as, even heavy buyers won't get bored easily. I love that phrasing. It's basically saying, look, even if you're one of those people that buys a lot of cards, you ain't getting bored easily. That's kind of adorable. And here's the key phrase. Many shiny Pokemon will be included. The phrase on the advert is, many shiny Pokemon will be included. Which is how we know it's basically GX Ultra Shiny. And this is a good thing, incidentally. Now, obviously for collectors, it becomes a bit of a nightmare. And it's weird for collectors, because on the one hand, it's a bit of a nightmare to try and actually get all the cards. On the other hand, it gives you something cool to collect, but it's not going to be an easy one for collectors. Now, what we had in what essentially became Hidden Fates was we had a bunch of shiny Pokemon, and generally what we got was staples, things like Malamar, for instance, cards that saw a huge amount of play and were then reprinted as shiny cards. And then we got an awful lot of GXs, like the aforementioned Charizard, like Gardevoir, things like that. The kind of cards that collectors will go absolutely crazy for. Because why would they not? It's exactly the kind of thing they're going for. It is fair to assume, not confirmed, but it is fair to assume that they'll do a similar kind of thing this time round. This looks very much like GX Ultra Shiny, so it is very fair to assume that they're going to treat it in a similar kind of way, so we will get a bunch of staples reprinted as shiny cards, and then a bunch of Vs and VMAXs reprinted as shiny cards. People are going to go nuts for this set. Does that mean another Charizard? There is a Charizard VMAX. Could there be a shiny version of that? Yes, there could. Will there be? I don't know. I'm not designing the set. But could there be a shiny Charizard? Yes, there absolutely could. That is definitely within the realms of possibility. And if they want to sell the set, it seems like the kind of thing that would be prudent to do. They did it last time with Charizard. Why would they not do it this time? Now, in terms of release dates here, now I do need to issue a quick correction from my previous video. My apologies for that. What we're basically looking at in terms of release schedule at this moment is the next set coming is Astonishing Volt Tackle, which is Sword and Shield 4. That is coming on the 18th of September. This will be next up, which is the Sword and Shield High Class Pack Shiny Star V, coming on the 20th of November. And then we've got that Urshifu set we talked about before that we got from Trademarks, which is going to be Sword and Shield 5, which we expect as our December set. But as I talked about in the previous video, are we really going to get Sword and Shield 5 coming like 2 weeks or 3 weeks after this giant 190 card set? Maybe. But I find that somewhat unlikely. Yes, it is possible. Yes, it could happen. No, I don't think it actually will happen. I think it is kind of unlikely, if I'm honest with you. I don't know what's happening with Sword and Shield 5. That is the Urshifu set. And this is one of those where we're just going to have to wait and see, I suppose. At some point, we will be told. But unfortunately, we're not there yet. Hey-ho. Now, the weird thing is, of course, trying to think about the release date for us, because this is Sword and Shield 4A, so we would assume this would be in our Sword and Shield 5 set, which is our February set. But remember that with GX Ultra Shiny, they basically pulled it and saved it for our holiday set, which was Hidden Fates, or as it is this year, Champion's Path. So these cards could be in our February Sword and Shield 5 set. Honestly, I would say that's unlikely. I think this ends up being our holiday set next year. Again, this is unconfirmed. This is supposition on my part. But I think it is fair supposition. I think that is the most likely course of action. Again, we can model this on GX Ultra Shiny. GX Ultra Shiny was a giant set with lots of reprints, including lots of shiny Pokemon released in November. This is a giant set with lots of reprints and shiny Pokemon released in November. They've even got similar names. So I am, unless I'm proven otherwise or told otherwise, I do think we can model this on GX Ultra Shiny in terms of what's likely to happen. Now, the final point we need to address here, and this has been deliberately left until the end of the video. Hang on a second, Wassy. Aren't there energy symbols for both Fairy and Dragon on the booster pack? Haven't Fairy been officially discontinued as of Sword and Shield? And Dragon not been seen in Sword and Shield? Yeah, but we know we're getting a bunch of reprints, so I mean, the first thing to note, it is dummy artwork. They could literally just be giving us all the energy symbols. I mean, the lovely Immunities pointed out that the kind of shine on the dragon energy is different to the others anyway. It could be that they're reprinting Fairy and Dragon cards from older sets. It could mean that they're coming back. But I highly doubt. Now, maybe Dragon is, but I highly doubt Fairy is coming back. They did the whole announcement. It is far, far more likely that it's either just dummy artwork, don't get carried away, or they're just reprinting some older cards that happen to be Fairy or Dragon. But there's a very good reason that I left it till the end of the video to mention this. I don't think there's much you can infer here, so I don't think you should be inferring very much. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we know. It is a giant new set. It is official. And it is going to feature a whole bunch of new shiny Pokemon. We might have a year till we get it. So, frankly, ladies and gentlemen, get your wallets ready. Oh, it's going to be a gigantic set. And the collectors are going to go crazy. So, that's what I know, that's what I think, but I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.